Grant Cohn is the most insufferable journalist I have ever seen. The way he handles himself is embarrassing, most recently calling out one of the largest NFL content creators on YouTube in Brett Kollmann. But I want to start off by talking about what you probably all know him for, so I can build a bit of a pattern, and that is his interaction with Javon Kinlaw. It all started when Kinlaw confronted Cohn for how he's covered him since he was drafted. Then it kind of spiraled from there, where Cohn released a video in response to the altercation where he described what happened from his perspective.
Kinlaw walks all the way across the field, walks behind me, and stands over my left shoulder staring at me, behind me. So I turn and I say, "What's up, Mook Dog?" And he doesn't say anything. And I say, "Why are you looking at me like that, Javon?" And he said, "What are you gonna do about it, you bitch ass?" And then he said one more word that I can't say. And then I turned to face him and said, "Oh, it's like that." And he said, "Yeah, it's like that." And then he knocked the hat off my head, just like that. I haven't had someone knock the hat off my head since I was in elementary school.
And then literally laid out why Kinlaw may hate him.
Javon, what are you upset about? Is it the fact that I said you have an 80-year-old knee? Is it the fact that I said that you're a terrible pass rusher and you're just a two-down player? Is it the fact that I said the Niners shouldn't have drafted you and they should have taken Tristan Wirfs instead? Is it the fact that I said that you're unprofessional and immature? It escapes me which of the 100 negative things I've said about Javon Kinlaw the last couple of years moved him to approach me in such a way.
It blows my mind that he already just plays the victim. He does not really care why Kinlaw may hate him, consistently blames Kinlaw for being injured, when I think most rational people can agree injuries mainly come down to bad luck, and overall acts like he is the one who deserves sympathy points when he's never afforded the same to Kinlaw. The next day we get a gem of an interview in which Kinlaw first recharacterizes the situation and then lays into him.
All this shit you talking, all this back and forth, all this bickering, all this, I was in the training room today. Fam, the training room is nowhere near the field. I looked at you, you looked at me, you pulled your shades up, came walking over a little bit, not walking to me, you walked up a little bit just so I could make sure that it was you. I walked over, I approached you, put my chest on you, on your side, you turned towards me, and that was the rest of the story, fam. Stop making it seem like I came about you at a cowardly way. I came at you man to man, brother. Put some respect on my name, brother. I'm a man just like you. My nuts is bigger than yours, brother.
I asked you what I said about you.
My balls is bigger than yours, brother. Put some respect on my name.
All right, Javon.
Stop talking about me like I'm an animal or something, brother.
When you listen to Kinlaw in this interview, these are the words of someone who is sick and tired of another man's bullshit. I agree he didn't handle it the best way, but I guarantee you Kinlaw isn't confronting Cohn in this way if Cohn was just a fair journalist that made reports with different levels of nuance. In his mind, he is always right. It is always someone else's fault, and in my opinion, he clearly never acts in good faith. He also said this while the incident was going down.
Because honestly, if you touched me, if you pushed me, dude, I could have retired today. That's what went through my mind. I'm like, oh, damn, I'm about to retire. I'm about to be out of the game. I'm about to be a multi-millionaire thanks to Javon Kinlaw.
The fact he would say he would be excited at the possibility of a player hitting him just so he could sue him demonstrates a complete lack of character, and to me shows that he doesn't even really view the players as people. You shouldn't be a reporter if you are purposely antagonizing players in an effort to then sue him. Teammates of Kinlaw's also made posts at the time in support of Kinlaw that were very anti-Cohn. If Cohn was liked by the players and was doing his job properly, these players would have either stayed silent or would have played both sides of the fence here. That concludes the most heated parts of their back and forth, but that is not where his arrogance stops. Pat McAfee obviously covered all this drama because it was a big story at the time and was also very anti-Cohn in his commentary. How did Cohn respond? He brought on his daddy to defend him as they proceeded to talk about how they didn't really know who Pat McAfee was and acted like Pat McAfee's show is a joke. Here are some clips.
And one person in particular I think we need to respond to directly, Mr. Pat McAfee.
That's his name, right? Pat McAfee?
That's his name, yeah.
I never actually heard of him, but I went and looked at what he had to say about Grant on, what would you call it, his broadcast? I don't know what it is, Iggy, what he does.
Yeah, it's like what I do.
Okay, and he wears sort of a muscle shirt, a tank top, so you can see his arms and stuff,
right,
which aren't actually all that developed, you know. And he talks tough. I want to say he's a tough guy.
I would call him a mouth breather. And you know what I mean? I mean, nothing against it, but it's like, he's like 13, an adolescent. He's like, oh, worked up, you know? He's a little bit of a mouth breather.
It is incredible to me. He has the arrogance to act like he doesn't know who Pat is and that Pat is a nobody, while simultaneously also being an NFL commentator on the very same platform on which Pat is the largest. Bringing your own father who got you your start in the business to defend you on your own platform is just embarrassing. Finally, I want to get to what really got me to make this video. His Twitter exchange with Brett Kollmann. All Brett Kollmann Kollmann did was make this tweet about Brock Purdy. He was impressed with what he saw from Purdy in training camp and wasn't necessarily down on the 49ers season just because Jimmy G got injured. Cohn then sees his tweet and goes on an unhinged series of rants, basically saying Brett isn't allowed to have an opinion because he's only there for 3 days, and once again, like he did with McAfee, tries to insult Brett by saying he has no idea who Brett is and Brett should get a job with someone else so that he can dedicate his life to covering one team, even though his channel is 6 times the size of Cohn's. Cohn is an arrogant reporter that only looks at things from his perspective and his perspective only. He is a walking contradiction that does not treat anyone with any respect but expects people to respect him and cowers when criticized. Like the video, subscribe, and let me know what you guys think down in the comments below.